The Denver Broncos just got major league disrespected by Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I think that is a fantastic sign. There's other signs that we are poised to not just play competitive in this game, but actually win this game against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. We're going to break it all down. If you like the Denver Broncos and you are celebrating this beautiful month of Bo-Vember, helps me out a ton if you would like and subscribe. It really juices the algorithm. So the Denver Broncos are going to play an early game in Baltimore. They are actually leaving today, Friday, to go do that. It's going to be a 2-day trip for them. It's a business trip. You know how good we have been going East Coast with Sean Payton this year. He has figured out the method for succeeding in that way. I think another thing that I haven't seen leaked or reported anywhere is that there is a time change this week. So while it's an 11 a.m. start time for the Denver Broncos, it really will feel more like a noon start time. And while that might seem like a trivial thing, I think it's just a little extra layer that will make this road game not feel quite as shocking to the system of these guys who've been playing at the 2 o'clock start time over these past 2 weeks. So I feel like we are really poised for that. And coming into this week, Lamar Jackson is about to face the toughest defense he has faced all year. They lead the league in QB hits. We have the best corners in the league. We have thumpers in Quan Alexander as a linebacker and getting hit by him. I heard Philip Lindsay on the drive the other day talking about how he played with Quan Alexander and that this dude is heavy. And when you get hit by him over and over, you just want to call mercy and have it stop. And so I think we are really poised for that. So you might think that if you are prepping against the best defense in the league, and that's not a biased take, they are the best defense in the league, you might want every single second of practice time that you possibly can have. Well, Lamar Jackson missed Tuesday's practice. He missed Wednesday's practice. There are reports that he maybe was injured, and he was asked today, hey, are you playing on Sunday? And he's like, yes, 100%. That was never in doubt. It's just a long season, and I'm resting my body. It's a long season. And that right there is the definition of looking past a team. Like, hey, I'm thinking about the rest of this season. I'm thinking about my Thursday night game, and we're already wearing our cool all-purple uniforms in practice all week for that Thursday night game. I'm looking totally past these Denver Broncos because remember, PFF said they are the second or worst team in the entire league. And I think, to me, this is further reason. You look at the line being 9 points, right? The Vegas thinks that the Ravens are going to beat us by 9 points. This is the best defense in the league. This is the offensive rookie of the month last month who just gets better each and every week. This isn't the type of week where you take 2 days off and just rest your body. This is a week where you got a brand new receiver coming in Deontay Johnson, and you should be practicing getting the ball to him because the windows are going to be tighter than you've ever thrown to this year, man. And I think you really are sleeping on this team. And you're seeing that echoed by all of my favorite Broncos content creators being like, Lamar feeling like he can get by this number one defense with 1 day of practice. This is going to add extra motivation to this team that Sean Payton all year has talked about how young and hungry we are. Zach Allen has said that we're young and hungry and we're dangerous. Sean Payton has said it. Vance Joseph has said it. And so this young and hungry team just got a lot hungrier, and they're about to feast on a Bo-Vember feast of Raven. I don't even know if Raven tastes good, but you know what? We're about to find out on Sunday for sure. So Vance Joseph kind of talked about like what an addition Quan Alexander has been. There's been rumors that, he's been one of those players who we've kind of snuck by, and he's on our practice squad, although he's been called up these last 2 games. So this will be the last game we're able to do that. And so you'll see after this week, Quan Alexander will get signed to our 53-man roster, and Vance Joseph has really just sung his praises, and that he was on our team for that game, right against when we played the Jets, but he didn't know enough of the playbook yet. And in these past 3 games, or those past 2 games that he's played, he's made a meaningful difference. He brings that level of leadership. The players are already calling him Unk and leaning into just like what an amazing leader he is. And I think we'll see more and more of him, especially knowing that Vance Joseph plans on him initially. And really, like, the number one focus of this Broncos defense is stopping the run. Lamar Jackson cannot beat the secondary throwing the ball, and I'm not even scared of that. And so if we can stop King Derrick Henry, which we have a very good record against Henry. I remember when he came here several times with Tennessee, and I felt like if you can make him redirect, he is such a bowling ball of a dude that when he gets ahead of steam going, that's when he's hard to take down, when you make him cut back and redirect or slow down and wait for the hold to develop. And so what I love about this Broncos defense, and it's what Zach Allen said at the start of the season, was Vance Joseph said the first job of that defensive line is get upfield. Don't read and react. You just go. And so I think we're going to be hitting him in the backfield and not allowing him to get that head of steam where he bulldozes over people. And Vance Joseph kind of came out this week and talked about how the number one point of this the strategy is stop the run first, make Lamar Jackson beat you with his arm, and he won't. The one thing that has concerned me going into this game is I have like a weird, huge admiration / man crush on PJ Locke because of what he did last year in that Detroit game. And I've talked about it probably too much, where he hopped on an RV and drove all the way to Detroit because he wasn't medically cleared to be in an airplane, but he was medically cleared to play in a football game against the Lions. And so he took a 20-hour road trip to and from Detroit to play. And I just feel like he is a gutsy dude. He has missed practice this entire week with a thumb injury. And so safety is a position that I've been really worried about going into this. And so I was a little bit feeling better when I heard Sean Payton come out today and talk about the fact, and Zach Stevens did a great job reporting this, that he's actually really impressed with the safety room and feels like the leadership of Brandon Jones has been great. And then we saw Devon Key off of our practice squad look good. We know Delarian Turner-Yell is cleared back to practice. I'd be surprised to see him make meaningful playing time in this game, knowing the injury history that he has. But if we can cover for PJ Locke for one more week, or maybe, I mean, if this dude is playing when he's not allowed to be on an airplane, I wouldn't be that surprised to see him lace it up and play against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday, which would have me feeling much, much better. Sean Payton is a streak breaker. He broke the streak of how long it had been since we won in Buffalo. He broke the streak of all the years we hadn't won against the Vegas Raiders. He broke the streak of all the years we hadn't won against the Kansas City Chiefs. This year, he's going to break two other big streaks. The Denver Broncos have never beat Lamar Jackson. I think that ends this week. And the other thing, the Broncos are on quite the skid here when it comes to the number of times we've missed the playoffs. And with a win this week, we are 80% chance of making the NFL playoffs this year. And that's a fantastic, fantastic thing. Other reason I'm just feeling incredibly hopeful for this is that the national media still hasn't bought into Bo. They rely on overall like passing yards and all that kind of stuff. And we know that those numbers were deflated because of a throwaway game in a monsoon with the Jets and playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks before Bo had the whole playbook open to him. And really the month of October is the Bo that we are going to see moving forward. And Joe Lombardi basically says that as well. Like, yeah, we're proud of him being the offensive rookie of the month, but guess what? As he gets more experience, he's just going to get better and better. This would be the time where Sean Payton and Joe Lombardi and this whole team would start setting expectations for Broncos Country. If they already feel like he hit the ceiling, or maybe they missed on this draft pick, this would be the time where they'd start being like, yeah, we're proud of Bo. He's done great, and leave it at that. But they're essentially telling us, yeah, we're just seeing his floor right now. Just wait until he gets more and more of this playbook. We saw the tight end chapter of the playbook open this week to Bo Nix. Just wait until he continues to get better and better each week. Can't wait for it. And one of the things that makes him so elite and so different is just his ability to evade the sack. And this was the thing that Sean Payton could not stand in Russell Wilson. Other coaches can coach around it and figure it out, and they'll take the moon ball, the Hail Mary. They'll take a couple sacks, but Sean Payton crunched the advanced analytics and went through how unlikely you are to score when you have a sack, even if it's on a first down sack. Like, the chances of getting into the end zone, if you have a sack, they just drop dramatically. And looking at this is incredible. So seeing throughout this entire season who has been better at evading the rush and evading the sack than Bo Nix, the answer is nobody. So you look here, this is their avoiding the sack is this axis, and then this one is their EPA per play. So Lamar Jackson avoids the sack almost as much as Bo Nix, and when he does, more special things happen because he gets more yardage. But the takeaway and the amazing thing here is look at how good Bo Nix is at avoiding the sack, and you got to love it. You look at a stationary quarterback like Jared Goff, he's not avoiding any sacks, and you all look in here, Caleb Williams not good at avoiding sacks, and when he does, bad things typically happen. So this is the place you want to be. You avoid the sack more than anyone else, and good things happen when you do that, and I think that's just going to continue this week. looking at Thursday Night Football last night, watching the Jets, just helped me understand how good Bo Nix is. That all year last year, we talked about how CJ Stroud was taking the league by storm. And this offseason, when I said, well, why couldn't Bo Nix be CJ Stroud for this year? And people laughed it off like, oh, there's only one CJ Stroud. You'll never be that good as a rookie. That's an anomaly. Well, Bo Nix is playing better than CJ Stroud right now, like as in CJ Stroud's second year with all these dudes, second year to learn the offense. 8 weeks in, Bo Nix is playing better than CJ Stroud. And you just take a look at how good they played against that common opponent in the Jets. The Jets actually are more banged up on defense now than when we played them several weeks ago. They had more to play for then than they do now. And you just look at how horrible CJ Stroud's numbers were, that he went 11 for 30. So you're talking, you're throwing the ball 30 times. It was only brought down 11 times. And Bo Nix's numbers against the Jets were so much better than that. And so I think really the sky's the limit. We are only just beginning to see the amazing stuff. We got some more trade rumors and stuff that we are going to get to later in the week, but it is an amazing week as the Denver Broncos are about to go into Baltimore, shock the world, but not shock us, because we know we're just doing Bo-Vember, and we got a ton to believe in. Man, sorry guys.